again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, and then give you our opinion. Not just my opinion, but your opinion on said news as we move along through the show. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel that close to 9,000. Subscribers, really appreciate it. Everyone who has scanned the QR code, it's this finger, who has scanned the QR code to become members of the Browns latest dog pound, woof, woof, and to everyone who gets their comments in the viewer comment section. Now, coming up on today's show, there's a really good chance that the game on Sunday might end 3-0. We'll also let you know if our guy made the top 5 coaches on the hot seat rankings. I also hope my worst fear isn't already playing out this season. And then down in the viewer comments, I get coached up on Russell Wilson, and we get a great comparison between Kevin Stefanski and the Colorado Buffaloes offense. We'll see what that's all about. But first things first, we have breaking news. The Brown helmet will debut on Sunday. Like, if a brown helmet doesn't turn your season around, I don't know what will. I mean, outside of getting Joe Boo from Major League in here to do something, I don't know. But the brown helmet, I mean, come on. Here's the good news. We've never lost wearing the brown helmets. We also have never worn the brown helmets, so keep that in mind. But, glass half full. We have never lost wearing the brown helmets. That's only part of the news. The other thing that's going on is left guard Joe Bitonio wasn't seen at the viewing part of practice yesterday, so who knows what's going on with him. Probably just resting. These veterans, they just rest. And then Kevin Stefanski says they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with punt returns, but Gage Larvidan, he's on the practice squad, so if DeAndre Carter can't go because he's concussed, then I would fully expect Gage Larvidan to take over. And the defense to take over as well. We're going to be getting defensive on Sunday, folks. That's the bottom line. And not just us, but Green Bay. Green Bay has held Washington and Detroit to 15 points. They're the number 2 run defense in the NFL. And NFL.com, there's a quote on there that says, even outside of Parsons, the Packers defense has played at a different level than we've seen in recent years. So we got that going for us. But on the other side, we have our Brownies. Look at this. This is going to be a matchup of the 2 of the 3 best defenses in the NFL. Look at this. These are your team defensive stats. This is total yards. The Browns, number 1, 191 yards. And the Packers, they're at 3, 238. The problem with us is the 7 TDs. Now, here's what I'll say, though. The offense actually has a lot to do with probably at least half of those, if not more. Three for sure. The offense and special teams. Setting up our defense to lose, especially against Baltimore the other day. I mean, the defense did everything. 10-3 at halftime. They did everything they possibly could to keep us in that game. We just needed to muster up some kind of offense, but we didn't. So, but that's just the start of the story for the Browns and the defense. Look at this. Look at these stats from Dogs by Nature. They put this list together. The Browns defense so far through 2 weeks has held Cincinnati's Joe Burrow to 113 passing yards. Wide receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to a combined 5 receptions for 59 yards. They limited the Bengals to just 7 yards of offense in the second half. Held Derrick Henry last week from Baltimore, 23 rushing yards. Allowed just 91 rushing yards and a 2.07 yards per carry through 91 rushing yards through 2 games. Limited the Bengals and the Ravens to just 38.5% on third downs. That was one of the big things coming into this season. Getting off the field, giving our offense extra chances. We're doing that. We got half of it going. And then look at that. They extended their streak to 30 games without allowing a 300-yard passer, the longest current streak in the NFL. So, no problem with the defense. The defense is great. The problems are offense and special teams. Who's in charge of the offense? Well, that's our head coach, Kevin Stefanski. And the list of top 5 coaches who are now on the hot seat is out. Why would Kevin Stefanski be on this list, right? I mean, why? Oh, I don't know, because he's in charge of the offense. It does nothing. It gets us nowhere. But let's take a look. This is from John Kerr of CBS Sports. Here is the list. He's got Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins, numero uno. Then Brian Daboll from the Giants, Brian Callahan from Tennessee, Dave Canales with Carolina. And then there's our guy, Kevin Stefanski, in the 5th position. I mean, all of those are legit, right? I think so. But here's what Mr. Kerr had to say about Kevin, and this is where my opinion differs. He says, the only reason Stefanski makes the list is because the Browns are in the middle of a rebuild, and the quarterback situation is one that no head coach would want. Stefanski is a 40-year-old Joe Flacco and 2 rookies in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders backing him up at quarterback, making it hard to win for any head coach, even one that gets the most out of quarterbacks. Okay, go ahead. The most out of quarterbacks. I'm just giving everybody a chance to groan. Go ahead. Okay. Everybody groaned? Everybody's in? Everybody's good? Okay. Listen. If he could get the most out of quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson might have worked out, right? What is this guy talking about? Jeff Kerr. You need to spend a little time in Cleveland, Jeff Kerr, because you absolutely you're right about having Stefanski on the hot seat list. I'm good with that, but you're wrong. The reasons are wrong. His offense, his play calls, no points. Let's start there. I mean, come on. And all the stuff we talked about yesterday, just not being tuned in to everything that's going on around you. Not picking up on the fact that you're running the ball against Baltimore, which, by the way, has the number 1 rush defense so far through 2 weeks. Can you believe that? The Ravens have the number 1 rush defense through 2 weeks. And we were running for 6 yards a clip on them, but we decided to drop Flacco back 48 times, and we got 45 passes off. This is why he's on the hot seat. I mean, develop quarterbacks. Remember, the only playoff game we have ever won in the Stefanski era, he was not there. He was in his basement with COVID. Not there. So there are plenty of other reasons than what you got there, Mr. Kerr, as to why he is on the hot seat. Now, this brings me to my worst fear. Now, here's the thing. My worst fear, because I hear it, I hear the noise. I can't say I block it out. I hear the noise. Lots of people say they're tanking. They want a quarterback next year. They're tanking. I keep saying, no, can't be tanking. The players care. Look at Myles Garrett. I mean, he's playing look at the whole defense. They're all playing their butts off. The guys are playing their butts off. Got Judkins and Sampson are playing well. Fannon's playing his butt off. Bowling Green guy. Look, my worst fear, though, was this their plan? This is my worst. Okay, hear me out. Did they go into this going, okay, here's the deal. We know we got all these quarterbacks coming out next year. And even though none of them have really, there's nothing there that just wows me that says you have to go, oh, you got to go get this guy. That's not there. So, but I digress. So let's say back in January, they go, here's what we're going to do. We know all these quarterbacks are coming out 2026. So here's what we'll do. We'll make it look like we care this year. We'll draft somebody. But it's going to be like somebody who probably won't be that successful in the NFL because, but we're going to make it look good. We're going to take them in the 3rd round, make it look like we care. It'll be a guy that, I don't know, been in college for a while or somebody, like maybe won a lot of games, set some records, stuff like that. Who is that? Is it Dylan Gabriel? Okay, all right, we'll go with that. And then the Shedeur thing happened. They're like, we'll really make them think we care. We'll get Shedeur in the 5th round. Now they're really going to think we care. Even though we're still waiting for next year. And then they're like, wait a minute, though. You need a veteran. Oh, wait a minute. I know. What's Kenny Pickett doing? Can we get him? He's kind of like a veteran that knows what he's doing. We'll get him. And then, but wait. You need somebody else, though. You just can't have rookies. Okay. Is Flacco still on the beach? All right, go get Flacco. Call Joe. Get him in here. Nobody else is going to call him. We're the only ones who are going to call him. So let's call him. And they put this quarterback room together knowing full well that it's never going to get off the ground. That's my worst fear. Does it look like that right now? Somewhat. They got rid of Pickett already because of the injury. That threw the plan off. I'm not saying I'm right in any way, but it's my worst fear. And right now, there's a chance that that's what's going to play out. But the plan is, like, one of the rookies has to take the reins. And I just feel like Shedeur is the better fit for what we're trying to do. But we'll see. But that's my worst fear, that we are secretly throwing this season away anyway, knowing full well they know who they want in the draft next year. Just a fear, nothing based in, this is just Dave being crazy. That's all this is. But that is my worst fear. Now, one thing I never, ever fear, the viewer comments. And we'll start today with Ms. Sunny, and it's FL 22, so it's got to be Ms. Sunny, Florida 22. And she says, I'm sorry. Now she's talking about Kevin Stefanski and the play card. Remember? Okay, here's my makeshift. I've already been told I need to go to Denny's and get a Denny's menu, but here's my impression of Kevin Stefanski during a game. There it is. She said, oh, there's the song. Look at that. All right, thank you, song. Big intro to the viewer comments. Miss Sunny, Florida 22 says, I'm sorry, but he only has 4 plays on that card. He should be able to call those plays by heart. Yeah, I agree. We do seem to run the same things over and over. We don't adjust to anything. We don't take what the defense is giving us. We just keep running Jerome Ford up the center's butt and, everything and trying to chuck balls deep. Like, you're right, Miss Sunny, Florida. I was cracking up when I saw that. All right, Timothy West. This is what we teased at the top. I thought this was really, really interesting. Timothy West, 1183 says, sounds like Stefanski and Pat Shurmur at Colorado are brothers from another mother. Georgia Tech game, 5 minutes left in the game. CU has the ball and is running at 6+ yards a pop. What does Shurmur call? With Caden Salter, a dual threat QB, and his biggest threat is running. What does he call? 4 out of 5 plays were passes. It was a tie game. All we had to do was run down the field, take a field goal, and win. Instead, he tries to be the smartest guy in the sidelines and calls the passes. We punt. Georgia Tech runs down the field and gets a touchdown. This is what I'm talking about. So, we make it so hard. And it sounds like Pat Shurmur makes it so hard. I just don't get it. Take what they're giving you. Twice now, Cincinnati and Baltimore have kept the safeties deep. They're going to take what they're giving you. But we're not. And I've also heard people say Houston exposed Flacco in that playoff game. But that's what they've seen it twice now. If they can't figure this out, you've already seen it twice. Third time's a charm, right? But I thought that was a great, great take just because of the connection there between Stefanski and Shurmur. Now, this is kind of like a YouTube handle, but leans more towards password because it's Mr. C Tills SR 7415. My guess is Mr. C Till Senior 7415. I don't know, but if you want to use it as a password, knock yourself out. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, and he's under 6 feet. Your info is inaccurate. Remember when I was on my tirade yesterday, and I said the Browns went out and got themselves a quarterback, and I said, let's see, how many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl that are under 6 feet? None? Okay, let's go get Dylan Gabriel. I was in my tirade mode. Well, I forgot about Russell Wilson. And the reason I told Mr. C, the reason is because, he's right. Russell Wilson did win a Super Bowl, and he's 5'11", but I couldn't see him over the rest of the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks who are all over 6 feet. So he was standing in the back, and I couldn't see him. So that's why I forgot all about him. It happens. It happens with Russ, but he was back there cooking, right? So, okay. But I appreciate that. Always coach me up. If I miss out, because, I get out of my tirades and you know what happens. Things happen. Okay. We're going to end with Mark-I3P2E, who says, Browns for the upset on Sunday. this will be a trap game for the Packers. Again, love your channel and your style. Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate it. And yes, like this, you get this. This is what always happens. You get a team that has hit rock bottom, and you got a team coming in hot as a firecracker. This is the NFL. This is how the NFL works, especially in the first 4 weeks of the season. That's why I am preaching. Do not give up on this season yet. We are not done. There is a lot of football to be played and changes to be made. And I think you could see it on Kevin Stefanski's face. He knows this offense, they have got to get something together starting this week, or his leash is going to continue to keep getting shorter. Because right now, I feel like I'm the only one saying he needs to be out of there. But it's just going to, I might be the foundation, because if this week they go out there and the defense balls out and we don't put up any points on offense and the special teams is falling all over each other again, look out, folks. The groundswell will really start. We could just say we are the ones that were at the start of it. We started the groundswell. So, but that's what we'll do. All right. Thanks for joining us. All right. Hey, we're one day closer to football again tonight already. That's what I love about it. I mean, say what you want about the Thursday games and the this game. And then when action comes, like, football like every night of the week. It's awesome. Plus the guards are in it. We're fighting for the wild card spot. We're good to have a chance for the division. A lot of things to like about sports in Cleveland right now. And the Cavs are right around the corner. Okay. That'll do it. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Now it doesn't work at all. I broke it. Okay, we'll send the ball to the shop like the pen. The gadgets. The gadgets always seem to fail me when I need them the most. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.